Alright, guys. Well, that being said, welcome to episode 19, Beez in the Trap.
Beez in the Trap.
Last we left off, you had traveled through Sigil, or Sigil, however you want to call it.
Jeff.
You had found the marketplace, stolen a few things, played Biggie Boss. Most of you won. Biggie Boss was fine with that, told you to come back.
Such a fun game.
As you continued forth, you ended up into where do we go from here? Through the district, yeah, through the foundry, through the old temple. Actually, you went around the bridge, and then by the time you got to the bridge, that is when you encountered a couple of hardheads. The police that were basically the watch that were basically walking across the bridge, and then got attacked by a giant spider thing.
That was really cool. It was so cute.
Mighty Sven, there was a lion with a lion's head with 3 eyes and a giant body like the size of a very large vehicle, and then legs on top of it.
Like it purred.
Giant thing. Yeah. It opened its mouth, and Mighty Sven had come crawling out, this really sickly, moist halfling. I think I came into kind of like Richard from the IT crowd.
That's
like
fair.
Very, very small. At which point, he saw you, and I think after a little bit of conversation, showed you how to bring Giraxn back. That it was as easy as...
So did you actually bring Giraxn back?
Yeah, that was right at the end. It was great.
He's like, and then he manifests, and you're like fondling his balls. He's like, dude.
And I think that's about where we left him. I think you guys were going to go inside Mighty Sven's house and have a conversation.
Inside the spider?
Inside his house.
Which isn't inside the spider.
Which is not inside.
But that would be smart.
It was right nearby. And I think he had knocked out the guard and just gave him a good whack while he was tied up in the spider silk, and then knocked him over the edge. Into the ditch with you. No wake up for the head. Sorry, man.
Can I now turn into that spider?
No, that's not. We're gonna do that a little differently. Not just seeing the creature, you have to kind of observe them a bit. So you haven't had a lot of experience with that. I don't know if we had like a short ones that you turned into. We'll say those are ones that you had already interacted with a lot, even in the zombie form. Anyway, back in Wormland. But you'll need to kind of see them and kind of study them. Just basically spend an hour, kind of be like, oh, we'll make camp. Oh, I'm gonna go into the bush and see if I can find some new animals. And then we'll make you do a little survival check, and then go and find some animals.
Sweet. That sounds great.
And then depending on where you go, depends on what I roll for that.
Perfect.
And then we follow her into the woods, and she's buggering everything.
But you've already turned into a spider.
You're supposed to observe them.
Basically, that's it. That thing's a magical creature. You can only change into animals themselves. So you technically can't change into anything with tentacles, or unless it's like an octopus or a squid. You know what I mean? Just natural things.
Okay.
But you've done a spider. So, starting back at Sven's, he brings you into his home. At this point, he's already unsummoned Girryn, his friend, in order for you guys to walk in. It's a bit of a tight fit for Giraxn, but he definitely wants to come inside as well. It seems that Mighty Sven has a bit of a small room. The kip is, especially in Sigil, there's not a lot of room overall, and it's not expanding anytime soon, and so people just kind of build on top of each other, beside each other, if you have like a solid building, you'll find like shacks kind of lined up all around the
Is Sven
outside.
well-to-do? Does he look like he has lots of money?
Let's get to that. He was kind of wearing kind of like drab, regular clothes, kind of all kind of dark, kind of ratty. Doesn't seem that well-to-do, but it could just be wear and tear, just like the stuff that you guys are wearing. When you go into his home, though, it's a small room. It's probably actually the size of this room here. That's about it. It is quite a large.
That's really
flat.
nice. That's a big
And
place.
as far as you know, as you've seen, this is like a upper lower class kind of flat.
You mean lower middle class?
Lower middle class.
Upper lower class.
Upper lower
Upper
class
lower
is
class.
not quite.
What?
I'm so confused. Lower
You can-
middle class?
You can have upper, middle, lower of upper, middle, lower. That's how that works.
Oh god, I'm so confused. Everything's in a circle.
You never heard that?
Well, no, I believe you, but in Sigil, which up is lower middle in an upside down world that is also right side up? He's just gonna ignore me. That's good.
Good
No.
point, though.
He's well-to-do. He's just not well-to-do. He's like adventuring rich.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like you get that from as soon as when I get to describe his place, enter his house. It is, as I said, about a room this size. It's lightly furnished with some things that are kind of gaudy, like red velvet with like the gold trim kind of couch. But it was. You remember that he had found that on one of his adventures and decided to stuff it inside the holding that they had, piece by piece, and reassemble it back here. He had to
Sounds
have the
like
couch.
my kind of guy. What race was he again?
Halfling.
Okay. Well,
As you
that's
look around the room, there seems to be very little memorabilia or any personal effects in terms of like portraits or paintings. Just a couple of tapestries, just a color of silks.
yeah.
There's a small fire in the corner, and he seems to pull right up to it on a bench. Starts taking out a bit of some sort of dried herb substance, brown dried herb
Sweet. I'm gonna go
substance.
smoke his shit.
And he starts rolling it up into a quick cigarette. Says, and you start rolling up and up.
Yeah.
You smell it right away, and it's close.
Hey man, can I grab a pinch off you there?
Why, certainly.
Oh, thanks, man. Hey, you got any rolling papers, man?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Spin it up. Hey, you got a light, man?
And he points to the stick that is like, half in
Yeah.
the fire right now. So, there we go. Your friends seem to need a safe place to be right now. Where are you headed from here? Do you need any help? Do you need any directions?
Excuse me. I've been wondering about this substance. Perhaps you heard of it. It makes things go boom.
Sorry, you got my attention like you were doing something out of game. I didn't
No.
understand that. Okay.
Mm.
So Debbie does that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sure. The things that go boom. He refers you. I think this was covered back
Was that
to
the clockwork tower thing? Yeah. Okay.
which was, I believe, on the map.
And I thought I wrote it
over
down, but I couldn't find it.
Not the market board. Guildhad, Crooksword.
No, it didn't. Oh no, that's
Here's the
I
giant
write shit
statue.
randomly down. I don't know which stuff is what.
Oh, it was back. Yeah, you guys had gone past it already. It looks like a bloody clock tower thing.
I thought you did already get.
But it was closed.
Yeah,
So we just went to the other district.
That's right.
So
you went past it. Wish I could
Clock
see
tower?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
Gear Street. That makes
Cool.
sense.
Thank you.
So Gear Street, and you guys are where that blip is.
yes, Sven.
If you want, maybe write some of these things down for easy reference too.
Well, I did. I just wrote it somewhere and then lost the place that I wrote it. It's fine.
Going on, Grace gonna start talking out his mood, working out a tune, start singing Spider Sven, Spider Sven. Get here comes the Spider Sven.
Friend, hey.
Yes.
Try to keep it down a little bit. I don't want the heat thinking that we're home right now.
Oh, boy.
You can play. Just play. There we go. What do you say?
Starting to feel like a little bit of a leatherhead. It's not a bob. Trust me on that, but Sarah put me onto these strange folk.
What did you encounter when you found them?
Well, they happened to be engaged in the middle of the night, fighting some, I don't know, red clothing wearing brigands and such.
Ruby's gang.
Might have been. Couldn't tell you.
Only one gang of inepts dressed so gaudy and in uniform like that.
I could tell these were just normal brigands. Well, inadept, like you said. But these adventurers were very strange. This short one with the hot head of hair.
Debbie's just like,
And puffing away.
yeah. Yeah, these are my followers. Hi.
It tastes
They're with-
really
they're
nice
with
on the lips, but... oh, really? You're the leader, then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, this fine lady is this one right here. She's
you
a
reach
special.
up your arm onto,
Yeah,
like,
Debbie's passing the buck. You're the leader.
That big one over there is formidable. I saw her change size once. Must have been a spell from one of these others.
Ness just grabs a drag off of the cigarette.
They seem
And just gives it back to her.
they seem
Yeah.
a little out of
Plus
their
one
element.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus one goth. You're feeling a
Seem
little dirty.
out of
You're just
their
like,
element,
yeah,
but they are
I'm
formidable.
rolling
folk.
low. I'm low folk.
I see. Well, it could be quite useful if you want to make some coin. Fortunately, I'm not going to be around much longer, and I think I'm going on the grim retreat. I think it's time.
What is
Funny
it?
you say that.
Are you ill?
What's
We're
that?
all ill in a way. We all have an addled brain trying to understand this multiverse. I see it too clearly. I've seen too much. He just keeps kind of like squinting his eyes like he's kind of in pain, but kind of hiding it.
Mm.
It's not an insight-worthy thing. You just kind of take it away. And you know from your history with him, he's been an adventurer for a long while. He used to travel with a few people that he knew back in the day. Zaza, Avrov, and Sven. Looks still looking at you, yes. I've lost many along the way. I'm done with this. I'm done adventuring. I'm done with the cage. I need a break. I need to contemplate on it. I need to think on it. So I'm going on the grim retreat with everyone else back at the madhouse. It's going to be soon, you know. Maybe a week or more before the Factal sends us.
Tell us about this grim
Yeah.
retreat.
What the fuck is that?
He just told you.
Sounds like a bit of a downer if you're asking me.
Existence is cold and bleak, and most often it has little meaning. And we find solace in our insanity, because we're all insane.
Pretty
What
much.
are you smoking?
The world is pretty meaningless. I've done my time in the kitchens. I've done my time out helping little old gnomes cross the street.
So that.
I've rescued kingdoms.
Yeah, well, I'm like,
We've done
I
few
feel so bad about it.
awesome things
Pretty
in
good.
time. But I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Don't want to die. I might change my mind. So I go get myself committed. Back at the madhouse. We're all gonna go soon. The Factal Lar and all of his underlings, and probably, I think there's a couple hundred of us. Some are gonna have to be shipped to headquarters in Pandemonium, but we all end up taking a bit of a vacation.
He and the spider, because he's pretty cool. Could he come with us?
No,
Mm.
Igramul doesn't get to go on this retreat with me. He'll stay in the astral. I'm glad you got to meet him before. Yeah, one last time. Another week or two now. But what can I do to help you now?
I think we...
This one here has the symbol of Bahamut on her. There's always power back over at the temple.
I'd really like to talk to that guy. He really fucked us over. Where the fuck are we? Bahamut. We should find him. I bet you he's here.
If we can get to anyone who knows
Wow.
how to get there, or even to the plane where those two angels came from, they would do too.
That's true. It's true. There's got to be a temple or something here. There's got to be some powerful folks, right?
Well, there's a temple. There's a temple all right to Bahamut. Very modest one.
I pipe up right at this point after hearing this. Like, I can hear this conversation.
Yeah, we're all in a room this size, and like we're all sitting around on like benches and something, and then the very nice couch. Like he's sitting by the fire with these two.
I've been sitting there just petting Giraxn's back and cooing to him. And when I hear that, I pipe up and say, "I can travel there, Giraxn. Let's go. Let's fly there. We can find out."
Oh, I don't recommend you fly. I mean, fly low if anything, and hopefully you don't get shot down by somebody with the wrong idea. You've seen the place. Where's up?
You might run into some steeples. So if you're like
the curve.
If you're like getting the fuck out of town, this dig coming up for availability, because we need a place to crash while we're here, you know. And if you're going anyway, I'm just saying, like, this is a nice space and all. And...
So make a perception check.
Perceptive. I am perceptive.
Okay.
What am I perceptive at? 16.
Okay, so you take in the room real quick, and I mean, you're trying to assess how much you want to offer for the place, but at the same time, see what you'd be inheriting. In a room this size, we'd say something like, if that's the door, like the actual door into the room, he's got a bit of a bed, just a small little cot set up on the side here, a few chests, an armoire, and then he's got a fire with a few benches around it.
Sick.
A couch, that very nice little couch, and 2 bookshelves, mostly filled with books. Though there seems to be a few scroll cases stuck in there too.
And like the thing is, we just need a place that's like not gonna be big on the heat's notice scale, and I feel like you probably developed a little bit of cred here. Maybe you could hook some young adventurers up who are just starting out.
She talks much.
No, she's got the right idea. Just I don't know about how much the hard heads would be leaving you alone here. I mean, I have enough of a reputation playing in the ditch with the Ignorable, so they might come knocking, they might not. Let's just cast a spell and disguise the door, make the numbers a different set of numbers.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all can do that, right? I can't do that.
But sure, that can be done.
Sweet.
I was going to sell it to this other birthday. I mean, you don't. Tell you what.
Yeah.
If you could pull 100 gold between you.
Oh yeah, we can sort that out. What do you think, guys?
Donate it to the madhouse when you get there. Go visit.
That's...
Yeah, I can do that.
Madhouse, if you donate the 100 gold to the madhouse, Amerigo, you'll perform it for me. I trust you.
Yeah, you got it. You guys?
I have 4 gold.
Who's got some money? Annie up.
I'm just sort of...
I got 69, dude.
Debbie, is there not a way we can convince them that we've given them gold?
100 gold is really fucking good for this space. He's doing
Mighty
us a
Sven
solid.
is in the room with you and says,
Well, I would whisper it.
Alright, you didn't. Please
Your
preface
alignment.
that in the future, but in this moment, Mighty Sven says, I need it to be an honest effort here. We need all the help we can. They run soup kitchens. They run.
We got it.
They run the
fine.
madhouse itself.
He's
It's
just
basically
in
an
shock. Don't
orphanage
mind
and an
him.
asylum.
He's just so
He's
excited.
had a really, really bad week.
Try
We
to think
apologize.
of it this way: that 100 gold is alleviating just a little bit of suffering in this pointless, heartless.
Alicia, do you want to mark down my 4 gold?
You can keep your full
That's
gold.
a good cut.
You can give me 25.
Okay.
And you,
I only have 10.
This is going in
a Bahamut one.
No, I have some money, but I don't have enough. So if you give me 25, that should be fine.
He says, you're going to go seek out your power? Good luck. You might get to talk to the secretary. You might get to talk to the door. You might have to show great strength in order to prove your worth, to even have a moment of a god's time. But it's possible. You're in the right place.
Don't worry.
It'd be worth it to try.
I'm sure that he'll talk to me.
This, and he kind of gestures to everything, which I'm also gesturing to all of this. This connects all of the gods. This is where their realms are. This is what you mortals believe in, and this is what we are. I just happen to be. But yeah, go knock on, knock on heaven's door. Yeah.
Beez in the trap. Beez in the trap. Amazing.
All right.
You're welcome. I got us all a hangout.
Do you actually gather the 100 gold?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's just kind of a slight retcon, but he just says, "I'll take it. I'll take it now." When you guys, when you come back through this way, Amerigo, you know the password.
Did you all of them?
What did you have?
22.
Correct. Say you.
No, you can keep yours. Dave and I had the most. I had some of the party treasury, so I put in 75 and he put in 25.
Cool.
So, Debbie's nice.
Debbie is nice.
Debbie's
Finally.
nice. She's always nice. She's just fucking sassy.
Friend. And he puts his really, and it's kind of cold too. Definitely clammy, and like you have your straps. You have bear skin, and you just. Friend. I think because of this, you guys can use my kip. I'm gonna go tonight. I think I'm ready. I think after trouble on the bridge there, you grumble, and I can't play here anymore.
Sure you don't want to come on one last adventure with us? Persuade. Persuade.
Do it.
Nope. Probably not.
Once a cutter wants to go
15?
and repose, it's
15?
not much to stop them. Have you ever been so morose?
He's definitely set in what he said.
Oh
now.
man, well you're a good dude. I'll miss ya.
I can leave a few of the things here for you. The rest I'm going to give away to the madhouse to resell. Yeah.
Just as an aside, out of game,
Hmm?
I'd like to be able to disguise myself as Sven when people come to the door. And I'm a disguise master. I got my kit. So I would like to ask him to leave me some of his clothes. Some of his regular wear.
Yeah, he's fine with that.
Cool. I just wanted to double check. Neato. I will be Sven from here on in.
Cool.
Call me Sven in public. I'm
And he's
serious.
He's got like no poems about it. Anything else?
That's it.
Else you good? All of you stand awkwardly in the room. You gotta tell me what you're doing.
You guys,
Am I overhearing this conversation?
Yeah, we're all in the
you're
same
all
room.
in this room.
what time of day is it?
Yeah, what time?
Let's see. It was 4 a.m. when you got into a scuffle.
Mm-hmm.
You traveled for a bit now. It is definitely just becoming light. So, I mean, you don't know what time it is, but the light, the general ambient light of the place has been raising, and it seems dawnish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to propose a short rest.
I was just gonna say that. I agree.
Because I want to
Yeah,
regain
yeah.
spell slots.
Well, and Debbie fucked all night and barely slept, so she wants a little rest.
Or long rest.
No, just a little one. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, is everybody cool with doing long rest so I can reset everything?
Well,
Are we in-
before we do that,
Well, we got places to go. We should get them. Go do those things during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Sven's leaving you more than just what the house and what Debbie had procured.
Yeah. I'd like to skip over and come up to you and say, sorry that we had a bad first interaction, but you've led us. I feel like you've led us in the right direction. Since we met you, my friend has come back. There must be a connection. If there's not, anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you come with us, we can make anything be possible.
Jesus, he's pretty manic, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll? Can I try a persuasion on that?
What are you trying to persuade?
And who are
Persuade
you?
him to come with us.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's see what you get.
Ness leans over to you and just kind of goes, "Good to have you back, kid." Missed you.
18. 18 total.
I mean, how resistant are you to the idea of it? That's a pretty good roll.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to make you counter roll unless you want to counter roll.
Okay. Well, I'm not wholly convinced. You guys seem odd enough, but Sarah told me to look after y'all.
Dude, I got some sick weed.
Right.
Yeah?
Roll a dank check.
Dank check.
Are you licking your arrow?
Is it 420? Because if not,
It's depleted.
sorry, I gotta pee by the way.
That arrow's depleted. Fuck it off.
Where
Whatever.
You sucked all the
whatever,
poison out.
I did.
Yeah. Like, how many arrows did you have? Or bolts of those did you have?
Where are they?
Did you just have one?
No, I had a bunch. I had a quiver full. I think I've used 2, maybe 3.
Because I'm considering that you're basically like licking off just a little bit of it each time, but
Yeah.
like a couple of uses each, maybe, and that's about it.
It's
Okay.
somewhere here.
Microdosing.
Hmm?
You're microdosing.
I'm microdosing, exactly.
Oh, I want a microdose. I wish I wasn't so sick.
While you guys are sorting out yourselves, Sven has been going through the different chests and the armoire and pulling out things. He puts out some clothes that he thinks he's like we're back in my the days I used to go to ciphers for ciphers. I'll recon it when I double check ciphers for a bit of dancing, and you just see his shiny black, not
Slick.
quite leather pants
Ooh.
that are pretty that look like they'd be pretty tight on him and might loosely fit you
Why do they smell like lion saliva?
too. and baby powder.
And baby powder. If anyone knows how to get into latex.
There's a couple of frilly, silk shirts with like a lot of
Cravat.
ruffles. There's
Mm.
ruffles going on there.
Nice.
And some nice tailored jackets.
I
So
do-
He looks a little bit more frumpy nowadays in his dress.
I do, after my rest, definitely get dressed up as Sven and do my disguise to look as much like Sven as possible. So
Okay,
that we
well,
walk
we'll
through
get
the
to that.
streets.
You're gonna when we get to the rest,
Okay.
then we'll get to the end of the long rest. Then you're going to do your disguise.
Mhm.
Okay. Because you have to roll for that separate. And we'll say for the purposes of this, since you're a charlatan and you are using the disguise kit, you're paying attention to Sven, his
Yes.
mannerisms,
Yes.
and how he speaks.
I wanted to say that earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt your flow.
I didn't quite remember or was able to find what his original accent was, so I'm just kind of whatever. But we'll say you're able to mimic.
Does
his
he have a
voice.
symbol on his face too?
Actually, not at the moment.
Okay.
It's just a dull.
Did
it's
I-
just a dull, like, just hint of a symbol when it's not active.
But did I could make out the symbol what it looks like, right?
Before, yeah.
Yeah.
you did.
Okay, just because I might want to try and replicate it and paint on my face at some point.
Is that where you're going with, by the way? That it's like a dull symbol when it's not active?
Well, I didn't think it was there at all, right? That was my impression. It's
When
like
it's-
it's only out. It's only glowing when the both of you are out, and both you and Giraxn have this thing glowing at the same time.
But just when it's not. I just want to know if
Then you look like a normal person. You don't look like a sunman.
Okay.
Because it's not out. So it's kind of like in a disguise way. So we're just gonna say, for the purposes of this, it's not out. So
Okay.
unless you want to fake Gizmo being nearby,
Yeah.
maybe don't have the symbol go.
Okay.
You wouldn't need to.
No, but if I was in a
But you
panic
could
situation,
change it.
be like, freak people out, being like, "My lion spider's coming, bitches."
Yeah, and then
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Dave,
have
when you
never.
come back in, bring the bong.
I could have been doing that this entire time,
What?
What?
using that symbol to intimidate people.
Yeah, you could.
Except Giraxn has always
Is-
been.
And also, Girryn is
He's
not
not
very
very-
Right.
intimidating. No, and Debbie's not either, but she's going to pretend to be someone who is.
Just to check while we're waiting for him. Intimidation. 16. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
What were you trying to intimidate?
Nothing.
No, I'm just saying,
Oh.
like, if I were to intimidate somebody, what my base roll would be. I get a +3. That's not bad.
Why are you grabbing the bong?
Because I want to fill it up with weed and smoke it.
In here?
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Okay, let's take a quick break while I set up
No,
the fan and
I'll do.
everything.
No, I'll do the things.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I didn't know you were going to set up the fan and also shut the vent up there.
I will figure it out.
Can somebody tall shut the vent up there?
You're not any taller than me.
Steve, can you shut the vent up there?
Yeah.
Alicia, that thing is broken. What the fuck?
Fine.
No.
Is that closed? Is that closed?
I'm
going.
just waiting for the counter to go.
There it is. There you go.
It's
I
about-
only
We've already had that happen.
as much of it
No.
as a butterfly.
There's a
I know
funny
what's
story.
holding that in place still. It's like freaking
Cardboard?
4 screws. Like,
And it was both of you, too. It was on that New Year's where you
What?
both fucking knocked that fucking counter over and smashed all
No,
the
that
glass.
was Sarah. That was me and Sarah.
Oh, that was you and Sarah?
jumped on me and I
Oh.
fell backwards and then the whole counter
You were there, though. You saw
fell
that,
on the
right?
ground.
I have no idea what you're
like,
talking about. I take no responsibility for whatever you're talking about.
Okay, anyways.
that was
You were saying,
ridiculous. And then I laughed right after that. I was like,
what
sorry.
was I saying?
See ya.
Well, he's going around getting stuff out and
Ah,
giving it
I
to
was
people.
about to
Yeah,
ask
you
too.
left.
Sure.
Well, not all.
Okay. That's fine. And he's got like this giant sack, and he's just like, you see him pulling out like really, really shiny, almost gasoline huge metal bracers with giant metal spikes on it, almost like shredder spikes. He's just tossing this into the bag. Clink, clink.
A
Yes,
moment.
fine. Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have anything shiny and sharp?
Shiny and sharp.
Small, maybe. I've been wanting to upgrade my dirk.
You want a knife? You want a big knife?
Well,
And he goes into a drawer, and you hear a rattle, like opening up, like one of our drawers here, just like of a bunch of things, kind of all loosely. You, clang, clang, clang. He's like, Then he says something. He starts casting a spell.
We're all in this room, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
He just
perk up
he's
and-
just at the armoire, and he's just opened up a drawer, and there's just all knives of every shape and size,
I'd
up
like
to
to
about
know-
like a machete.
I'd like to know if I can understand what spell he's casting.
Okay,
I can hear it.
Yeah, make an Arcana.
Oh, that sucks.
What'd you get?
11.
11 made it. Yeah,
11
it's a
total.
low level spell. You can, and you might even know the spell yourself. It's detect magic.
Oh, okay.
And so as he finishes the incantation, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's just underneath here." And he rustles through, and he's like, "Oh, it's a little dagger about this long, blade about that long. It's kind of curved, and it comes to a point. It's a like nice shiny, probably mithril or steel. The hilt being just like very plain black metal. Something you'd see at House of Knives. Is it House of Knives or House of Swords?
I have no idea.
There's a place in the mall where, yeah, House of Knives, the chain where you can buy like novelty ones. But you do notice something about it. He says, "Yes, you see this index on the side there?
yes.
Press it." And he holds on to it. Roll 1d4.
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 1.
1?
Two.
You do
Two.
2? You will. So you do 2 points of damage to Sven as he's holding the blade, which is like clearly cutting him, but he doesn't seem to mind, and he seems to be a little scarred anyway.
Neat.
Really? The guy who wants
Just
to
make
kill
sure-
himself is a little
I
scarred.
could do that like about once a day. Once a day, stab something. Give it a little shock. Alright,
Thank you
buddy.
kindly.
Yeah, I was gonna hawk it anyway.
You're a cutter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave a pile for you guys. I'm just taking the rest right now. I just need to sort out of it.
Sweet. Does anyone
And he starts
valuable?
hawking. And he's putting like very, very large things into this sack, and it seems to just.
Can I
not
perceive
feel
anything valuable?
A lot of the things he's throwing in there. He's not throwing junk into the sack. He seems to be selling, like throwing like art objects, knickknacks that seem to be like gems. There are actual gems he tosses.
Okay,
in
sweet.
there.
Debbie goes for him. She's super into it.
Goes for him what?
Was like, can I have these things?
No.
No. Why? Where are they going?
They're going to be donated.
Sweet.
You already paid your donation.
When he's not paying attention, I'm gonna try and steal it.
He goes back to talk to Amerigo. Sure, make a
stealing check.
sleight of hand check.
Yeah, we bars in the bag.
1 second. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
If you roll a 1, you fall in.
No. No matter how long you're in there, I'll be thinking of
Oh, I rolled so low.
You decide not to go with us?
I rolled so
Not
low.
yet. What did you
didn't
roll?
fall in.
I rolled a
I'm young
3,
yet.
but I have a plus 10, so it's 13.
You rolled so low. You rolled so low. Guess what? He rolled a 4.
Yeah.
Perceive. And he has a plus 2. Which is a 6. So.
What does I steal?
Okay, fine. You steal. You see something that seems to be shiny, and just as he's he's got like a handful of what seems to be like bangles and bracelets and necklaces. He's about to pull them in, and one seems to dangle just ever so loosely, and you snatch it, and you see that it's a jagged spindle of amethyst containing a little mott of light.
Okay.
And that's the shiny that catches your eye, because like the room is just lit by a little bit of fire, and there's a few candles burning on top of the armoire. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Copy and paste that if you don't know what it does.
I don't know what it does. I have things that I need to figure out what they do. I have to figure out some potions too.
What's you got a 13, right?
Mhm.
Who's got a high passive perception?
15.
Passive perception's under the abilities.
Oh, yeah, I've got a 16.
Oh, really? Let's see.
I got a 15.
Oh yeah, it's okay. So it's usually like 10 plus your proficiency in perception, right?
Yeah, what's your perception?
Is that the doorbell?
No,
What's
that
that?
was the phone in my butt.
Oh,
Why do you keep it in your butt?
okay. Well,
Why don't you?
anybody whose passive perception is higher than 13 saw Debbie do this too.
I
As like
give her one of these.
as like Mighty Sven was kind of the center of attention. And
She
he's
does one of
just
these.
doing this as he's talking
Yeah.
he's talking to you.
Oh.
Just putting in there, yeah. And then yoink. He's still talking.
Sorry, what did you say?
So I'm
Oh,
he's gonna
okay.
be going soon.
Do you know what it
I'm going
is?
with him. I gotta
But
find
I
with my
took
chip friend. Hey, at least Beez was sleeping.
Oh, kleptomania.
No,
Keep on these
I would
guys.
like to consider myself an opportunist.
Yeah.
Delusional.
You're a good cutter, my friend.
A delusional
I'll miss you.
opportunist.
That one has antlers. Hey, friend, what's your name?
Jinx.
Do we do introductions? Yeah, we do. Jinx. You remind me of Zaza,
Zaza.
a friend of ours. A friend of ours. Druid that we know.
Zaza Gabor?
No.
That'd be cool.
She's in a gang, though. A gang of many. A gang of one. She's one of the inepts. Kind of like the Ruby gang that you fought. If you come across her, she might be able to tell you something about Ruby or her connections. If you want to follow up with her. Yeah.
Do you want it over there? I just didn't know if it was
If the window's open, yeah, we can do it.
Okay, alright.
I'd rather wait till we have an actual break.
Well, then get fucked, Steve. I'm smoking this now.
Well, I'm just saying that's why I'm passing it along.
Fine then. Do what you want.
I'll wait until then. Hopefully soon.
Okay, that's okay.
I'll have some.
Okay. That's this one. Why'd you turn off the hood? No, I'm trying to understand what's going on. Oh.
That one's too loud.
It was loud.
Okay, well then that's
You
fine.
want to put on like a 1? Let's see if that's
Sure.
Just deal with it.
And really, we should just throw it towards the open window. Like from over here or something across the window. There's no influx.
Yeah, that's why I put that over there.
Huh? Smoking here now?
Yeah.
Alright. So, yeah. Where is it?
Zaza.
Zaza, yes.
Where can I find Zaza?
You just might encounter her. She might be at the madhouse. She could be out on adventure. Sometimes helps out at the soup kitchen, so she's not a bleaker herself. It's just something she likes to join Amerigo and I for on occasion. But, Zaza, yeah. Keep an eye out for black, furry ears on the top of her head. And a whisker. Stinks. Stinks like so bad. I had to burn so much incense anytime she came over.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like cheap Beez
She's-
in the ditch.
In the ditch itself, yeah. Grew up in a swamp.
Jeez, Sven.
What's a bleaker?
We are.
And what does that entail?
We are of the bleak cabal, and we believe
In
we
nothing.
already told.
Yeah, in the multiverse, there's just no point to it. So, do what you can to make this life a good one. Alleviate suffering when possible. But really, they're all kind of like, it's the kind of touch of madness of seeing that the world is got no meaning, and then you go crazy. That's these days. But they run the madhouse, and they run an orphanage, and they run the soup kitchens, and they do a lot of the charitable work around the city. They just occasionally go all at once. A good chunk of their stuff will go off on permanent retreat. Nobody's ever come back from the Girryn. But the current faculty says you can. Yeah,
That's better.
You can go down to the soup kitchens.
Cool.
Is that all you're looking for? I mean, and like he's already been bundling it, like he's tying up the stuff at this point. It looks like he's getting ready to go. He's taking down just a couple of things. And
What's the government like here? Who runs this shit?
most of it's run by the governors, and they run over in the clerk's ward. There's the Hall of Information. There are courts. Well, sorry. There's the Hall of Information. There is
The Ministry of Silly Walks.
Ministry of Silly Walks. Everything's covered. I'll just look on this. It has the speaker. Oh, sorry. The Hall of Speakers District, which is kind of like a council chamber for lawmakers, and it's just basically where. Oh, and the festival, the Fest Hall District, which is where the sensates, organize all of the entertainment in the city.
Sensates, eh? Entertainment, eh?
That'd be an idea to check out.
Yeah, man.
There's not many laws in Sigil.
Yeah.
Don't kill unless you're being attacked, and make sure you have some witnesses. But for the most part, don't kill, don't steal, don't go back on a bargain.
How solid are they on that second one?
It depends.
They'll find out.
Unfortunately, just like the government you probably have back home, those who have money, coin, can pay to have it investigated. If you're too poor, if you steal from the poor, they can't afford to have you arrested.
That's fair. I ain't gonna steal from the poor. They're my brothers. They know what's up. I've been. You know, I gave away a bunch of cheese once.
And he gives you a look over, and you don't look like anything like a 4-person. You have crazy contraption blunderbuss on your hips. You have, your nice shiny armor.
Yeah, but I'm still just Jenny from the hood. Or the
Jenny
block.
from the block.
The block. See, that's how white I
Jenny
am.
from the
I don't even know
Yeah.
which Jenny I am.
Which
Jenny Craig
Don't
is
be
more
fooled
like
by
it.
the guns that she got.
Yeah.
And somebody has written down that they have 2 purple potions and a large glittering green one.
I did.
You did?
I did. It's on the bottom of the page. I still got some things I got to identify.
Okay. It's up to you. What do you guys do? You ask him questions? Are you moving on? He's like ready to go.
Did you find out where to find Bahamut?
I had a yeah. You did. I had another quick question. You mentioned the people with money would have the money to investigate the things. Who are the people with money? Who are the power players? Who are those people?
I mean, there's a lot that you can get into in this city.
Yeah.
Most people who are here have the power to be here, who have gotten here. You could say the ladies' ward.
I suppose I'm just looking to see whose
There's
toes
the
ain't gonna
adventure of
step
the
on.
guild hall, and some of the money in the banks of the clerks' wards, and there's the market district, which has all the merchants.
Oh yeah, I made some
I'm not
friends
sure
over
who
there.
you're trying to rob here.
Not rob. No. I said I am a good, honest person. I'm looking to find out whose toes I should not step on.
Right.
Because there's dangerous. I'm a, what did you call us? Newbie grounder, something. I'm thinking.
Clueless.
Clueless. Yeah. See, I'm one of those, and I don't know what's going on in this city, and I just want to make sure I ain't gonna hurt anybody. Debbie is real innocent looking. She looks like a child. She's like beaming up at him like a child, like a cute little
They're
girl.
probably the same thing.
Same height. I know, but she's still doing it.
Roll
She's ducking a little bit.
She's just fucking cute as shit.
I want you to roll a deception.
How deceptive am I? I'm not really that deceptive. Well,
By
I
the
guess
way,
I
who's
am.
the one who's stuffing all the stuff into the bag and about to leave? Is that
13.
Mighty
Yeah.
Sven.
Mighty Sven?
The guy
Yeah,
who
he's-
helped you get
right.
your
He's just still living it.
And
He's letting you guys take his place tonight. He's like, I'm going to go
Right.
go to the madhouse right
while that's
now.
happening, I would just like to go up and thank him for allowing me to.
I'm sorry, I bought the place. You're welcome.
No, I'm thanking him for enabling me to get Giraxn
Oh,
back.
okay.
Thank you for. He's the summoner, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I was so lost. You've given me back my friend. Is there anything I can do to repay you? Is there anything we can do to repay you? And Giraxn goes, pay you.
No. I was going to leave you guys a few trinkets because basically, I'm done. Just pay it forward. Do something kind. Alleviate suffering. This world is very bleak.
That's callback.
I can get behind that.
Girryn,
Bring a
thank
little light
you
to somebody else.
for the lodgings and the trinkets and everything that you've done.
We still sing songs of Sven and his awesomeness.
Thanks,
Don't forget
dude.
this.
It's Mighty Sven.
Thank you, Mighty Sven.
That's how, I have a brand out there.
Mighty
Even though it doesn't matter,
Sven.
there is no meaning to any of that.
Promise
Mighty
to
Sven
represent
and
you
his
well.
spider cow or whatever that was.
Spider cow.
You may feel that these things you've given us
It's an
have no meaning,
octopedal three-eyed lion.
but they have a lot of value and meaning to us. So thank you.
Octopedal.
A small one. And he's looking down at you by his eye level would be like you and me right now. That's how much taller he is really to you. Literally. Listen. If you ever get lost again on your way, no one else. You come look me up. Come to the madhouse. I might be able to answer more questions.
The madhouse?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what he keeps saying.
That's where he's going on his permanent retreat.
He's committing himself to the assignment. And he's basically saying, come visit my cell alone, and I might be able to answer more stuff for you. In regards to your Eidolon and how to cooperate and utilize him, make him grow if you want. do different things. Sorry about that. Basically, this is something that we come back to if you need to for advice. How's this?
Thank you, great Sven.
Mighty Sven.
Mighty? That's why pencils have erasers.
Pretty chill dude, man. That's Sven.
Yeah, he puts out the end of his quote. It's like his second quote at that point. Fine. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Giraxn would have used, Girryn would have used the right name. Just because I didn't doesn't mean he wouldn't.
Right. Cool.
Where does he get it right when it counts, right?
So you find out that
It also was a very fun moment that I don't think anyone else witnessed was when Debbie was saying, "I am a good and honest person." Girryn and Ness looked at each other, smirked, and then I rolled together.
That didn't happen,
Y'all are too fucking judgmental.
No one else saw it. I just wanted you guys to know what happened. Out of game. It's funny.
Oh, you're very altruistic, then. Sure.
Y'all are too hard on Debbie. She's been kinder than most. She shared her cheese. And her wine. And her cheese. Yeah.
this thing here.
Oh, I
Cheese
know.
that you stole from dead people.
They were dead.
You can do a lot of shit with your
Took
vagina.
from dead people.
They're dead. They're gonna eat the cheese. They want to eat you.
Decayed cheese that you took.
It wasn't decayed. It was better.
Cheese that you
It
took.
was aged like thousands of years.
300.
Cheese.
It had a very thick
Deer
rind.
Street.
300-year-old cheese and jam.
300-year-old.
You don't know the contamination that zombies can bring upon cheese. Actually, cheese would probably be one
I
of the
would
things that would
say-
survive the most.
Yeah.
That a person
Oh,
growing
yeah.
up in that world would have a better comprehension of what zombification of cheese might have happened.
Than me?
All of us.
Let me tell you a little story.
Yeah, this one
Zombie
time.
cheese.
This cheese
One
took a
time.
bite out of me.
Oh.
God.
Bless your heart.
So guys,
Hello.
the Mighty Sven was basically giving you directions on where to go to get to the Temple of Bahamut. You kind of vaguely know that it would be in the Temple District.
Mhm.
He just lets you know where in the Temple District and points out this building here. This here marker is the one where you guys originally came in and where the Talus Inn is.
Mm-hmm.
This is that Gear Clock Tower place. And that's where you are. Well, your headquarters is right there.
Okay, north
And
side
right at the edge of the
gate.
hive, which you know the hive is a pretty rough place. Yeah, you want it. You can hide in the hive, but like you need to know how to be able to like hold your own in any kind of fight, in any kind of rough and tumble way, because there are gangs everywhere.
You're gonna make friends with them. Get us on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. Yeah, you are. And I'm Sven. I already know the area. People are good to me.
But are we short resting
Yeah.
first? Is
Yeah,
that
fuck not.
agreed upon?
I'm still kind of talking to him. He's on his way out, and he just had one more question for you.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do? He's got a big sack over his shoulder.
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking riches and fortune and fame and, like picking a bone with that dragon god of ours.
Go see
We're
the
gonna
cows.
we're gonna try our very
Dragon
best
God?
not to get these guys killed.
You have more luck getting to talk to a god than you would of not getting killed.
I think like this fella doesn't
I
believe
know.
us.
I was
I
joking.
feel like that too.
It's just pointless to lie.
But
He also knows us really well.
I suppose we ought to go and get this one an appointment at Clockworks.
Oh yeah, as soon as it's open, I'd like some gunpowder. That'd be for sure.
But we gotta keep it low profile.
Yeah.
We're still on the lam.
Yo, I'm gonna put this bitch and this bitch deep in my pockets.
Don't you have enough
Advisable.
gunpowder? We should. And I start just plucking on his shirt. We should go to the dragon god. There's a dragon?
Yeah, your priorities are
Dragon
so
God?
much more important than mine.
Dragon God?
Let's debate this.
Mighty Sven just goes,
Bahamut.
Oh, so I
There we
didn't.
go.
I don't care if I go
Well,
first. I really
Bahamut.
don't.
Oh, they didn't describe him as.
No, that's what we. That's what we
But that's
said.
just
We
how
asked.
ready he is.
Oh, guys, no reason to table flip. It's okay.
Fuck.
We'll go to see the dragon guy first. I don't care.
It's Bahamut. The dragon god is Bahamut.
Mighty Sven leaves. Okay, fine.
Bye,
Bye,
Sven.
Sven. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mighty Sven.
You do know that his neighbor is.
I'm not trying to
He's
suck your
warned
dick,
you
I swear.
before that that he doesn't that he just plays at all hours of the day. And that's about the only thing you should know is that his neighbor. That you kind of like knew that.
Yeah.
From hanging out here.
Can I hear him right now?
Not at this hour. No, it's like barely dawn. You might be like sleeping off the night from late night performing. Anyway, for those who want to keep track of it, anybody is welcome to take pictures of the map with where those markers are, or at least to know what those markers are. It's good for you guys to have a copy of any of the information that I've given you.
That's a good idea.
CJ, this is now your job.
Yep.
So that's where the port is. That's the.
This is our headquarters.
So on the other side of the bridge, by the ditch, and then this is where the that's where the clock tower is. Wait, I lost it again. I was the one that found it in the first place. I was right there. Oh yeah, I see it.
Can I share something with you?
There we go.
Debbie's belief thing. Debbie's been responsible for Party Gold since early on.
Mhm.
So she clearly had a lot more money, but she also steals a lot more. And so she kind of sees all of that money as her money, even though she just did something. She basically was like giving up all of her money to make sure the party had a nice place to stay while they were here.
She's really
So
thinking that
She thinks she just like
she's
spoiled y'all
really
fucking
nice.
rotten. Like she just like she gave you so much, and like in her eyes that makes her a very good person. So I'm gonna be doing this a lot with him because my belief structure for Debbie is gonna be challenged a lot. So I'm like trying to prove that she's actually still a goodly character.
Oh,
Good luck with that.
Mighty Sven also wanted to know before he left, what do you guys call yourselves as a group?
The Debbies?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Debbie and the Jets?
Maybe you're actually.
Debbie and the
With
Jets!
the name here, guys.
Clueless.
Heroes of the Green Star, I guess. That was the name that people gave us back home. Can't imagine there's any more of those around here. I don't think it'd be taken.
It's not a nice ring.
Well, I'm sure they'll come up with something special. You guys decide on it. I want to.
Starfinders.
What would you guys call yourselves if you have to like apply for a job as a group or approach something as a group? Who are you?
Think of like the Rat Queens. You ever y'all read the Rat Queens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl in that always reminded me of Mila. Or like looked like her.
Which one?
You know which one.
A long time ago, the comic I can't remember.
The black haired one.
Okay, yeah. You can see that.
Anyways. We'll have to come up with one. You guys came up with the hot mess. On the spot.
Mm-hmm.
There's more people involved now though. How about the scum suckers?
So lit.
Yeah.
So lit.
How about beastly forever? But like the number 4 and then Eva, like EVA.
Because it's really cool. Yeah, I like it.
You didn't hear my suggestion.
What's your suggestion?
Debbie and the Jets.
I like that.
Right?
Debbie and the Jets.
There's a lot of fucking temples in the temple and stuff. I was just looking at the names.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
By the way, what is the name of the like? Okay, so we're now staying in this place that just came up?
Yeah, it's at the edge of the hive.
The hive. Oh, okay. We're not in the ditch anymore. Well, we're on the other side.
On the other side, yeah.
Cool.
Debbie and the Jets. Debbie and the Jets.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now it's a thing. Too late. We're going with it.
Fuck yeah.
It's so good. And it's just so appropriate to Debbie's horrible ego. It's awful.
How about
Does work.
It really
Debbie
does
calls the group Debbie and the Jets?
She does.
Yeah.
And then we just don't. We just like let her go with it. Sure, whatever.
Oh, sweet man.
Nobody else cares.
Hey, Mighty Sven ran away so quickly. I composed a song in his honor. I guess I'll have to play it for everybody else in the world. We'll get back to him one day in the loony bin he ran off to.
You just made a song now?
Don't call it a loony bin.
All right.
We're more sane than most.
Since we're still talking about the whole like name of it, and I guess you did say Debbie and the Jets. We'll just take that as your answer. And then you say you have a song that you composed.
Mighty Sven, he be your friend, though he be short and kind of damp. And Mighty Sven, he is a champ. He gave his house and all his knives to aid our cause and save our lives. 'Cause Mighty Sven, he be our friend. Wisdom he gave with a little known on how to call his critter home. From the void he calls it now, as Sven did call his spider cow. Girryn found joy again, all thanks to Mighty Sven.
Wow, that was
Amazing.
that was quite good. Oh my goodness.
That's great, Dave.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm happy with that.
Do I know where Sarah is?
Sarah.
How do you roll to see if your character cried?
Roll
Constitution?
Roll wisdom.
Wisdom?
Where did it go?
So
D20.
moved.
Oh, it's in there.
9.
Yeah, you're moved by it.
I'm moved by it. Thank you, Dave. I mean, thank you,
You want to see if you're moved by it?
Yes.
Rick, Dick.
8 plus. Was it wisdom?
Wisdom bonus. The straight wisdom bonus.
Dick Ranger.
Yeah.
Forest
Yeah.
Stranger.
You're good.
Forest Stranger.
That sounds like a weird name
Yeah.
for a horror
It's a
movie.
great
eh?
song.
Forest
You should hear the guy
Forest
next door.
Stranger.
In terms of like, you know, it's not affecting you in like a tear-jerking way.
Yeah.
But you asked about Sarah.
They might
Yeah.
have
Over here.
Okay.
Now, is. What's the name called? Heck?
Which? Oh, Hack.
He's the. Bard. The guy who was in town.
Well, guy who you know was just really popular around town right now.
Yeah.
And playing all the different restaurants and bars in the city, especially over by the festival hall.
Right. He's not the one that concert's coming up for. There was a concert? Or was.
Was there a concert coming up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had seen I think a poster for a show coming up.
Mhm.
Was that it? Yeah, you knew that it was coming up on near the end of the week on Market Day. And it's actually a really big show at. I actually have the name of the place.
It's 5.
Yes.
He does me a piece of apple.
Yes.
Here it is. Chirpers, not ciphers. Chirpers.
Chirpers.
Yes. That's where it's like free admission with meal purchase. But it's where you know that Mighty Sven liked to go for a lot of his dancing. When it was like taking over one night a week for goth night.
I'm totally gonna wear his pants. Wear his pants and his roofly shirt. Little goth dancing.
But yeah, it's quite a good time.
I'm a Sandman. Half man.
You don't have to, buddy. He's still here.
We all go sometime.
Yeah. Not me. Who are you guys?
We'll have to go to the asylum soon.
What for?
Just a visit, right? Not like
Like,
stay.
like, are we
I don't
just?
want to stay
Well,
there.
essentially,
Well-
I'm having second thoughts.
as far
Get
as,
used to it.
as far as it goes, you were trying to find them like a nice, safe place to hold over, and your first thought was to take them back to the madhouse to regroup because there was free room and board. And I mean, you can leave at any time, but they would give you a soft set. But this has now become a new situation. Now that you suddenly find yourself in possession of Mighty Sven's older kit.
I'm sorry. You can stay here. Yeah, it's fine with me.
Do you just say that randomly as I'm like DM talking to him? Your character does? I don't know. I just want to know. Like, maybe we should have a hands.
It's fine.
Okay. So I want you to be able to make quips like that. I just don't know if it's Debbie talking or not. Yeah. You're just fine. So, Hands of Time Clockwork Shop, that's the name of the place where the boom stuff is, which you mentioned. There's the Temple of Bahamut, there's whatever else. What do you guys want to do?
Where do we want to go?
Wherever y'all want. I'm easy.
Well, we knew that already. Yeah.
I would like to go to the Temple of Bahamut.
You guys are
Isn't there some
resting?
talk
Or?
of,
Yeah, rest
Short rest first.
Isn't there some talk of like a sect of people somewhere in the city who explore the plains or have like all the compiled knowledge?
The Hall of Records.
Hall of Records, yes. Isn't that a good thing to look at?
Yes.
Correct.
What about Tanya,
and
Girryn?
I don't think they heard me.
What?
And Amerigo was also confirming, and the Planeswalkers did.
Oh, yes.
That was
Yes.
separate things.
Definitely we should check all those things out.
What were you asking, Steve?
Taryn or Tanya? Tanya?
Tanya.
What about Tanya?
That's a good point.
We know she came here.
She'd be causing trouble. Or she could be just as lost and clueless as us. So I wonder if she even survived the void. Wasn't she like naked when she went to the portal?
It's possible she didn't even make it here. We don't know that.
That's true.
Well, until she shows up and becomes a problem, I'm not going to worry too much.
Especially given
Place is
this is
pretty
like
red.
out of character. From what I remember, she was eating a plutonian snow cone before she went to the portal. Or whatever that shit coming out of the engine was.
So it is our problem now.
That we're very, very lost. We don't really have a direction.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
I
much.
want to go home.
Exactly.
Debbie needs to get ammo.
Yes.
Where's ammo there?
Clock Tower District, yes.
Yeah.
Where's the Bahamut place?
Yeah.
Bahamut place
Okay.
is-
So let's just on our way.
Yeah, because I don't need to do much. I just need to
Yeah.
give them some stuff.
We can stop here. What's this one?
That one is... Isn't that where we came from?
Oh yeah, that's where we came from.
And where the towels are.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we can stop.
We may not want to walk directly by it.
Maybe not. We can do like a ping ping.
Just kind of give you like a scale distance, like this will be like an hour's walk would be in this.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
They got any local transit?
And that's like just going directly there without any.
So
You
he's
can
blocked the
buy
whole
a-
thing in a day.
Mount.
You did see on the streets there were a few people doing basically rickshaw. There's lots
Right
of
on.
rickshaws, especially among the barriers and centaurs and weapons.
Quimic.
So right now,
What's a quimmick?
It's a cat person.
Cat person.
I suggest yes, we steer clear of Talus Inn.
Yeah, no, don't go near that. Was that marking something else though?
No, that was marking the inn.
Oh, okay.
We should keep that marker there.
There, and this is there.
Showing up the clock tower where the ammo is. That's what that was marking.
Yeah.
'Cause the clock tower is right there.
I know.
Or is it?
It's actually covered. It's where this little, where it says I-27,
Oh, okay.
L-27. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
Well, we could hop in one of those transportation devices.
Y'all want to rest
Offer
first?
some coin or maybe a song.
Well, I have no coin left to spend it all, so
Well, we have it. We just had a nice demonstration of what we could do.
yeah. We'll bust on the street and then hop on a rickshaw.
What kind of rest do you guys want to take?
Short rest.
Short rest
Okay.
because we still want it to be daytime and they have things open and busy,
idea.
bustling, so that we can kind of blend in probably.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a good
If
idea.
we go at night, there's not many people out.
We're more danger at night,
Yes.
just in
Depends.
general.
Yes.
How haggard our spellcasters are. I mean, I'm good to go. I don't know about the hippie over here.
I have only first level spell slots left. And 1 third level.
You get those back to the short rest.
How much? Oh, I know. I don't regain spell slots from short rest.
No, just like wizards. Wizards and maybe warlocks.
Hopefully, being in the city, we won't be getting any epic battles. So
Hopefully.
they're probably a long rest or a short rest.
Yeah, no, we're not going out to fight anyone. We're just going to blend in, try and get information, acquire goods, and get back safely. That is the goal.
Is it 1 hit die for a short rest?
When we're trying to be inconspicuous.
Are you guys taking it? Because we can deal with that in a second.
Yes, we're taking it.
So how many? You rest for like an hour or two?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cast detect magic on my new knife.
Okay, it's magic.
Do I attune to it? No.
No, that doesn't attune to it.
Okay.
You have to cast identify. You want to know what it does.
Oh, do I have
But you already know what it does because you played.
Yeah, good point.
Should cast identify on this.
It's
Is there anything else magic in the vicinity?
Well, he's got detect magic going, so yeah, it's any things that glow. Well, yeah. What are you guys wearing on the outside? That would be magical at all. Amerigo
right
starts
now.
seeing that, like your bow is like kind of nearby. Your savage bow.
My pendant?
Your shield.
My
Your armor.
cloak.
I'm
my
lit up
ring.
like a Christmas tree, apparently.
What?
My cloak and my ring.
Open your ring and
My necklace and my helmet. That's, I guess, strapped to my side at this
Did my
point.
guns glow?
No.
I didn't think so. I'm like, I'm not glowy at all.
you're not glowing at all. What are you wearing for armor?
My leather armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm like
Do you have
very
any magic items?
no. Like
Like
I don't.
No.
Like I was looking. I'm like I
Well, I
have.
guess your guns.
That
Yeah,
makes
I
me
think the only thing you
suspicious,
had was, like,
Debbie.
The bullets, right? And you're out.
Yeah,
you're
your
out of
bullets,
those
your
But they're in a
ammo.
sack.
Okay. Sure.
And like
Yeah,
Well, the
that's
sack
direct
itself
strike.
is
anyway,
magic.
Anyway, getting back to it. You are holding up what?
the amethyst amulet thing with the light in the center. Is that thing glowing all magically? The one I just stole.
Okay, so she holds up a jagged spindle with amethyst with there's a little amount of light, which you recognize is definitely, and the whole thing is definitely glowing. Yes, it is definitely magical.
Neat.
Do you know what it does? Does anyone know what this does?
I was asking
I
you,
could
'cause
take
he's
a look
good
at it.
guy.
May I?
Yeah. Totes goats.
Arcana check.
We know that it's magical, so yeah.
Arcana. Here's how we go. You can do an Arcana check if you want to find out what kind of, what school of magic it would be.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't. Short of an identify spell, you
Yeah.
can't without being told understand what the trigger is
Fair enough, yeah.
Well,
Which I
can I-
don't
or
have.
what it does.
Can I take a look at it and roll for something?
Or are you just
Anybody
going to
who's
grab it out of my hand?
proficient- Yeah.
She already gave it to me.
Girryn's holding the necklace and about to examine it. Are you grabbing it from his hand?
I just want to take a look. Just like, maybe.
So let's both look at it at the same time, I
Okay.
guess?
Pause 1 second. Are you proficient in Arcana?
No.
Okay, we're not.
Can I do a wisdom check?
No.
No, okay.
There's no anybody who's proficient in Arcana could give him an assist at trying to determine it.
My Arcana's 4.
Well, no, it's. Are you proficient in it? You have the dot beside it?
Yeah.
You have the dot beside it. That means you're proficient with it, which means that you could give him 8 on it, and then he just rolls with advantage.
Done.
So you're the 2 wizards of the group, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, so you both look at it, and go ahead and roll with advantage.
That's pretty good.
19 plus 6. 25.
Was that your first or second roll?
First.
You want to roll again to see if you get a 20?
Yeah.
Might tell you a little bit more, I don't know. Maybe roll both your die.
19 again.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Description.
And I say that also as we're looking at it.
Seems strange.
Take this up. Just get 8 schools of magic.
Suck.
Hey, 5. Can we have tea?
I have tea. I brought tea.
Can we have some tea? Kettle and stuff?
Oh, but I don't have any bags or like soup.
Yeah, but plastic stuff like that. I think being hot in this room is really bothering me.
I'm gonna say this is abjuration.
What's abjuration again? It's like all changing things?
Blocking, vanishing, protecting.
What kind of tea do you have? That's in my bag.
Okay. Neato. Can you tell me that?
Blocking, banishing, and
Okay, so you're looking at the mod of light, and you have like in the necklace, and between the 2 of you, you're kind of just ripping off each other, being like, "Oh, it could be this," and he's like, "It could be that," and when you're he's the one seeing it with the detect
Yeah,
magic
totally
on, so
better.
he's giving you a little bit
I don't
extra
really care.
information there,
Yeah.
giving you that boost. So, from your understanding of wizardry. Abjuration seems to be what this thing is giving off. It feels like this would change a person in some way temporarily, and you feel like, and I'll give you this much because it was a pretty high roll. You feel like it might be a one-time use. That the enchantment or whatever it is kind of fragile, and
That's already got sugar.
you're not sure how. This would be very similar, not in effect, but in style of item, as the thing that you got basically let you throw that boulder once.
Oh, okay.
A cipher.
So I would know that from the experience.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. You've seen this kind of like level of power before built into an item where it's just enough to pull it off once.
So it'll change something one time.
There is
That's
great
all.
power in this, but I do not know what it is. But I've used something like this before. It may break after one use, but it may not. I don't know enough. We need to identify it to know its true value.
Neato. I take it back. Put it in my sack.
You snatch it out of my hand?
No, I politely take it back. You're holding it up like this, right?
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I put my hand around like this,
Yeah.
and I take it back.
Back into the bag of holding?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
You're cool with it? Because it's mine.
Well, it's,
You didn't hold on to it, right? That's not in your character. You wouldn't do that. You'd steal my locket, would you? You wouldn't, would you?
Well, as soon as it goes in the bag of holding, it's communism, right?
That's my
That's right.
bag of holding.
Well, we're gonna have to
If
fight.
it's not
We're
your
gonna have
bag,
to
it's
have a
the
battle royale after.
No, the bag's
after
mine.
this.
The party stuff's in it. God, I'm gonna die.
Okay, so as you're having this conversation, we'll say that it's very light activity, and most of you are just taking the time to go over your bruises, your scars, any cuts that you have. If there's any praying that needs to be done, then just take that moment. This is where you can spend your hit dice on healing. As many hit dice as you want for short rest. up to the number that you have available on there. So it's usually up to your level.
Sorry, it's just
Right here, usually. So you have
no, but
5d6.
I'm looking at my max health. I have it crossed out. I don't remember why. Was that from temporary?
Yeah, you would gain. No, you would gain more from something else. I got it wrong.
Yeah, and I wrote it down wrong, anyways.
Okay. Well,
So what's that say? 34.
Yeah. so you have 5d6s that you can use.
Yep.
You probably have like 5d8s or 5d10s or whatever. So you guys are just rolling up, and it's whatever you roll plus your Constitution bonus, by the way, just once.
I'm still at full health.
I only needed a few points to get up to back to full, so I didn't have to roll them all.
Okay. And does anybody recharge anything else? Although not, you have abilities on your sheet if they were extended.
Debbie just sits there with her gun going.
You guys look through Dreadnought, any of the stuff that he left for you?
Yeah, I'll poke around here a little bit. Anything interesting or useful?
Okay. Well, there is, right by the fire, there is one large pouch of clove tobacco.
Yoink. Debbie
and
takes
a
the
pack of
tobacco.
papers. And like just a small like roll of paper that like almost like receipt paper that you can rip off.
Right.
And that's true full health.
Anyways, this.
Fucking love that. That's great. Now she's a smoker.
So you open up the armoire and you see that there are some clothing that described here is still hung up in there, as well as a couple of traveling cloaks that seem to be from people, probably not him. Like it's not his size, and like you know that it's usually people who just they leave their coat accidentally. It's not raining out anymore, so there's no acid drizzle. So you just like you get to take your cloak with you. So there's just some random size cloaks that seem quite nice.
Is now a time to try my disguise, or is that later?
I'm trying to give you guys stuff. Do you want to wait till after?
Oh,
or do
yeah.
you want to do that now?
No.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys some stuff. You guys were looking through the room. So in there, besides those things, do you want to do it now?
No, I don't want to do anything now. Please ignore me.
Does Ness see anything that has any like religious symbols or maybe books or anything?
Are you going over to the shelf? He left all the books on the shelf and all the scroll cases.
Yeah, I was kind of want to just like peruse the books and see if there's anything.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Investigation. 16.
Can I help her with that?
Will you go over to the bookshelf as well?
Yeah.
Sure. Roll it with advantage.
Still 16.
Okay. Well, the two of you start looking through, and there are a few titles. Get back to that just in 1 second. So you did find a few things that caught your eye.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to the armoire for a second, though. When it was opened up, you noticed that on the bottom of this open cabinet, there is a small box, wooden box that is intricately carved and just has a simple latch on it, no lock. And then there are drawers. Do people open it? I don't know. Are you guys opening the box?
Box.
Everybody's opening up the box.
What's in the box?
Do you like call us over when you find it and be like, we found a box? Like, we're all there looking
I
at the
don't
box.
detect any magic emanating.
This was a while ago. You did detect magic before the short rest. Okay. In the box seems to be a few odds and ends of looks like jewelry. Some are on like metal chains. Some are on leather thongs. They don't look anything special for the most part. There's even like a troll's claw in there, just kind of mixed in with it. It's dried and kind of like just a husk of the thing, like a witch's finger.
Looks
I
funky.
take the troll's claw and braid it into my hair.
That's appropriate.
You know that things, man. You're gonna get a fungus.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I can use
mine.
it later.
If you don't already have one.
Yeah. I am a fungus.
Yeah.
Okay, you have that. And then also in that box, I mean, there was a few other things in there. There's a there's a small tooth on a leather cord. There is
Jinx's territory.
a jagged platinum shard etched with has a bit of acid etching to it.
Debbie takes that.
Take a jagged platinum shard etched by acid.
Yeah, if nobody goes for that tooth, I will grab that tooth.
Nothing but the dude.
She can't handle the food.
Yeah.
I'm sort of peering in, like looking at what's available, and like the tooth is like well, the thing you grabbed that was just about to be like, oh, what is written on there, and then you grab them like, oh, okay. And then I look at the other thing, move on.
Okay, that's it for what's in the box. There's so those odds and ends, a bit of clothing, a few cloaks. You open up the drawers. I assume just checking what the armoire. There is one drawer is full of knives. They left most of them. You didn't have much use for them. Some look like kitchen knives. Some look like whittling knives. Some are small blades. Some pieces of just really sharp, jagged scrap metal. But then there's a machete in there, and a few kind of nice daggers. They're probably not magical. They're still really well made. Or it's brand new.
Any odd looking metals?
Odd looking.
Like different metals, like the dark black metals or anything like that.
Okay. Make it quick. Search.
Very high.
So you give me a number?
18 plus
6, 10.
4.
Okay. You immediately spot. There is a small. It looks like somewhere between the size of a steak knife and a Bowie knife. There is one that seems to be made out of that black metal, very similar to the one that you already have, the dagger.
It's a jerk.
What am I writing down? What am I writing
what
down?
are those things?
I'm confused because a couple things were said there.
You're writing down that you have a black metal Bowie knife.
Okay.
How do you write it?
I thought he was just a spaceman.
So I grabbed a dagger. And those things might be useful in the finish.
You grab one of the nice ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Write down that you have a well-made dagger.
Well-made dagger.
I'll take another as well.
Okay. That's it for the daggers.
Is there anything else valuable? Looks like gold or rubies or diamonds or sparkly things that Debbie would be like about.
Okay, go ahead and make one investigation check, and this will basically account for you going through the rest of the drawers in the 2 chests and looking for loose change.
14.
Okay, yeah, you'll find
Searching his couch cushions.
there
What are
were
you doing, Debbie?
there were four silver in the couch cushions, and there was about 20 gold all told in terms of the drawers. They were just kind of, some of it was rattling around in the drawer with all the knives. You could kind of hear a bunch of clinking around. It just sounds like a bunch of metal. As soon as you started taking a few knives away, you see, there's a few
Some
coins in this.
change, yeah.
Goes around and starts collecting it into the bag. Right on.
And the bookshelf.
Bookshelf, yes. I have a few here. Okay. We have. Thank you. Okay, there's a book that is seems to be bound in stained glass plates. There's pages in between, but the outer portion of it, and there's no spine necessarily on it. It's just there's no covered spine. You can see the pages through it, and it's just a couple of rings kind of keeping it closed. Keeping it bound. On the other side, there is that has a little bit of a latch and a lock on it. Though you can't tell, there's just a little keyhole. Yeah. This that you have like if you want to keep it.
Yeah,
or show
that's
to the group.
cool.
You have a stained glass plate on the outside of this book. There actually is a title on the cover of it. It's the Parchments of Theli. Theli. And what languages do you speak?
Draconian and common, or draconic and common.
Oh shit. Sorry, you don't know the name of that. Does anybody speak Elven?
I do.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Somebody can help her out. I think Girryn's right there anyway.
You said
so
it's
you
locked,
probably
though?
say it. Yeah, it looks like it's a locked book. Like it doesn't seem to be unbound, and like you see that the rings are pretty heavy. They're binding it a bit.
Okay, well, I'm helping you find that, and as you find it, I get very excited and I'm like, oh, I don't speak this language. I can't translate this. This is Elven. Who knows what may be inside? Oh, I see that it's locked. Oh, I have a scroll that can unlock this.
Ooh.
I over here and go over and take a look at it. And I can read Elven. That says whatever that is, something about Philly. You know what it is?
Yeah, the Parchments of Theli.
Parchment.
Parchments of Theli.
What?
And do I know what that is? Do I recognize that name?
Sorry?
No, go ahead.
The Parchments of the Lie. Do I
Oh,
recognize
yeah,
that?
that's okay, fine. Religion. Make a religion check.
Religion. Oh, that's a critical fail.
Okay. No, it's not something you've ever come across.
Okay.
But it's really pretty.
It's pretty.
And it seems pretty interesting. There's just like a lot of regular leather bound and paper and cardboard sometimes make books taking up the shelves. There seems to be some histories. There seems to be some dirty novels. There seems to be
Debbie definitely scoops up the dirty novels.
Yeah.
alright.
She's got a secret love of like smut.
You're gonna think Debbie just walks around like.
I think
Debbie
Debbie,
is very
Labyrinth.
secret.
I think Debbie should write herself an erotic novel.
Have you listened to my recent story yet, CJ?
I have.
The story of my severed lover.
Is it all in the same world?
No. Well, the Aaron
Because
Scribe
I was
is-
gonna say Aaron Scribe.
Yeah.
Is that like a separate like mini story in that same world, and you're gonna continue to build on like the chapters?
Yeah, it's going to be 3 books for Aaron Scribe, and there's at least 4 other stories that I don't know how many.
Nice.
Because it's 1,000 years. I don't know if this is helpful, but I can both lockpick things and I speak Elven. I don't know if that's... You guys were talking lots. I didn't know if I could help.
Well, I just feel like we're doing the book thing while
Yeah,
you're.
this was kind of concurrently. They went over there, you guys went over here, kind of thing.
Oh.
And then you guys were like finding things, and I guess some of you were grabbing at it.
How much time would it have taken us to look at this shelving? Because maybe we're done.
There's a
looking
lot.
at this.
There's a lot up there. So I mean, basically, yes, you can have spoken to them and join them at this point. We'll say by the end of your search.
Well, you could have
found
heard
these
my
things, I just
exclaim
haven't
of
done.
glee. My exclaim of glee.
What's an exclaim?
Exclaim like.
Yes, we just wanted to hear the noise.
I think that's like... That's an exclamation and a spleen, an exclaim.
It's a combination of many things. Yes.
The 2 that you managed to pull, one is the tale of an Argonian maid.
Of course.
Oh my god.
We're gonna put it into this world.
Okay. The lusty
Lusty
Argonian
Argonian
maid.
maid.
Please, if we're gonna do this, let's get it right.
Sorry.
And because like that was a very sexy
She
story.
really had a really nice tail, though.
There's
You
just 2
did.
more.
And that sexy
Okay.
lizard.
So there's that one. There is finger honey,
Also the name of my porno.
and 4 clowns and their mouse,
Also the name
and
of my
their
porno.
mouse.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck.
Okay, so yeah, you guys found that stained glass book. Debbie found some erotica. As far as the other books are concerned that we found, because you rolled a 15 or 16 for your investigation, you rolled it twice, right?
16, I think.
16
Or 19? No, it's 16.
Okay, so we'll give you some more. We got this one. You find there are there's a set of carved wooden slates contained in like a bit of a bronze coffer set with amethyst. So you see this kind of on the bottom shelf as you're looking through. You see this box, and it's set with the amethyst in dark, nice, rich wood. What could this be? And there seems to be something really strange about the etching on the outside. Who's going to open the box? Well, do you try to open it? I just want to know who opens the box.
Debbie volunteers.
Debbie volunteers to open the box? Okay.
Investigation check.
Open the box.
Okay.
Open the box.
It's a carp.
You just open the box? Well, when you go to take a look at it, you notice the etchings. The etchings seem to be what just look like sort of a carved pattern, just a very fine pattern. Upon the closer inspection, it seems to be a tableau of an orgy of demons and something.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Accurate.
kind of like the very
For our
fine,
friend group.
like somebody with really small knives and really tiny wood carver had like carved out. It's like demons whipping, like full on with their bat like wings and their tails, whipping at people, screaming in fire. It's just like a band of it, and that's what the amethyst band is around the outside of the box.
Does it appear to be trapped or anything? Can we investigate it that way?
Yeah, so investigate.
Because, like, my thieves' tools and stuff, right? I should use these things sometimes. Do the thieves' tools give me pluses in any way?
Well, what's your investigate?
Investigate's only 2.
Well, your thieves' tools would be basically you get to use your proficiency bonus on the roll, and it would be depending on what I make the roll. So 3 plus say your wisdom 1, you'd have 4. What's your total
4.
investigate?
Oh, I rolled really low. 7?
Okay, it does not appear to be trapped. So do you open it?
Yep.
Okay, you open it, and there are carved wooden slates on the inside that seem to be written in. Does anybody speak evil languages at all? Any evil language?
Like Infernal or something?
Out loud or
I'm
in
just
writing?
asking you if you guys.
Yes.
I have
Common,
Celestial,
yeah.
but that's not.
Undercommon?
You're common, yeah.
Oh,
Nothing demon that as is the theme of the box.
what's Sylvan?
Very.
Fairy?
Very
Okay.
hard.
Yeah, it seems to be written in something that looks like a lot of really jagged, hard slashes into the wood. Just seems to be carved almost, just like everything is being done with a claw or a knife in order to carve
So
into
these
it.
look scary, and I don't understand them, but I feel like we should put them in the bag. Do y'all agree?
You want to see
All
what's
right,
in there?
cool. Let's go in here. Box with amethyst.
You
Dark
want to
wood
see what's in there
box.
first? Could just be an empty box.
It's got slats in it.
Wooden
Yeah,
slats that I
were you
just
paying
described with all
attention?
the writing on
Yeah,
it
man.
carved into it with, it's a book basically, but it's just a weird format for a book.
Slats. What are the slats made of? Metal or wood?
Wooden slats.
I would like to interpret this book if I had the opportunity. I don't
have
speak
the
this
helmet.
language.
You have the helmet of comprehend languages.
I do, but did that work on text or just?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh,
Cool. I haven't put it in the bag yet.
Many times it has. Yeah.
yes.
You want to look
You
at
wanna
it with the
read
hat on?
Put the hat on, little
Put it in
one.
my possession. And I will translate it for you.
Like.
Okay.
But are you doing that now? Because otherwise we'll just put it in the bag and we'll deal with this later.
It is-
At whatever time seems necessary.
Well, it's up to you guys. It's just what you want to spend your time doing.
I think we're on the way to do something else right now. So whenever we come to an inn or whatever,
To stop again after we do our
Yeah.
surveillance. Okay, it's
while I'm
going in the
having a
bag.
bath,
Just let me know
clipping
when
my
you want it.
toenails, giving Giraxn
Just don't get
hand
toenails on
job.
my new book, okay? God.
Oh, that's why we get separate rooms.
He's gonna go to take a bath and translate it, and it's just gonna be The lusty Argonian maid lifted her tail. The demonic version.
Can you roll straight up wisdom check?
That's funny.
Yeah. He was in
15.
You guys act really strange about your rolls. Like 15s aren't great. 12s are great. 11 can be really good. That's like
It's because when I roll and it just says 8, and then I go, oh, and then
10
oh no, but plus.
10 is an easy DC. 15 is a moderate. You guys aren't really high level, so you're going to be getting like moderate to hard to sometimes very hard. But like, know that it's like you guys are rolling okay. You're making successes. So
15.
you rolled it, and out of the one last item that caught your eye was just a set of scrolls. They seem to be bound with a piece of leather, but on the outside, on the seal, there's a a symbol to a god that is adjacent to Bahamut.
I grab it.
Palor.
I'll grab it.
The sun god is just like a sun symbol that's on there, and you're like, oh wait, I recognize that from the old world. Okay, so right then you have just a set of scrolls with Palor's symbol.
I wonder if that's the same company as Symphony of Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, besides little odds and ends like pots and pans, he seems to have like the full kit set up to be able to cook a basic meal over that fire. The fire pit is just like a brazier that is just like low set to the ground and very large indeed, but he just chucks coals and bits of wood, scrap wood that he can in there. You know, he was obviously being somebody, he had a bit of magic, so yeah, you didn't at all find any kind of spell book or scrolls during the search, so you probably brought it with him. So that being said, you guys took your long rest. You spent some time checking out his place, and what are you doing now? Where are you off to?
I believe to go get dead
Clockworks.
gunpowder at the clock.
Can I disguise myself as Sven now?
Yes, you can. You can do it when I say, what do you guys want to do? You can say you do it. Go ahead. So your disguise kit is basically your proficiency bonus. And then for this, we're going to go with intelligence. So you +5.
19.
Okay, great. You need to roll for advantage or anything, but you had roll a second time.
Oh. So then 23.
Oh, your totals were 19 and 23?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was 19.
You said I was what?
A natural 19, it doesn't matter. Moving on. So you got a 23. Great. It's a great success. Basically, Debbie just spent some time before you guys leaving putting on Mighty Sven's clothes. It's a little, the pants are a bit much, but you feel like, your ass looks great in them. You have no idea.
Debbie walks out.